Ladies and gentlemen, I just listened to the interview between former President Donald Trump and Sean Hannity. You should listen to that interview. It's on Fox News. And he brings up the Mar-A-Lago video. He states that he wants to release it eventually. And he says, well, I'm not going to release it because it has people's faces on there and I want to be safe and I want to take into account the security of individual agents. And then Sean Hannity says, well, why don't you just blur out the faces? And you could tell Trump knows exactly what's going on. Eventually, that video is going to be used with the faces blurred out or with the faces obviously not being shown. So they're going to obviously edit out the ability to identify anyone while showing apparently a whole lot of a great deal of protocol that wasn't being addressed during the Mar-A-Lago raid by, according to President Trump, individuals at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Now, there is this concerted effort to go after Trump. The video, if there's a great deal of protocol or decorum on how you treat a former president or guidelines and protocol that these agents are supposed to abide by and they don't and they didn't, and the video shows that they didn't during that raid, well, it's only going to really kind of highlight that the government or loyalists within the U.S. government or people aligned with a certain political viewpoint have utilized government against Trump. This is not rocket science. I think the greatest narcissists are people who've convinced themselves that bureaucracy, government, loyalists within these agencies or departments haven't been going after Trump. You don't have to like his personality. You don't have to vote for him. You don't have to like his policies like, his achievements of record low poverty in 2019. So his economic policies led to record low poverty in 2019. Can't say that President Obama's economy was the reason that in 2019 we had record highs in household median income and record lows in poverty. Okay, he renegotiated trade deals. The tax cuts worked. He was a friend to business in general. He also did a lot of great things in terms of prison reform legislation, but also he allocated more funding to historically black colleges and universities than any president ever, made the funding permanent, and was the first president to step foot in North Korea to begin a détente between North and South Korea. Doha Agreement that removed Americans from a never-ending military conflict Biden sent them to. These are all good things, okay? If you don't like Trump and you are gleeful that government is being leveled against him and you can't even acknowledge anything good that he's done, it's beyond partisanship. It's a religion, okay? I don't actively dislike Biden. I don't dislike Hillary Clinton. I don't dislike Hunter Biden. I don't know these people. I don't really feel that I need to judge them from this, lofty perch. Of course they committed crimes. That's what a lot of these Democrats do. Trump obviously has not. Not in January, not as an operative of another country, not in New York, not in Georgia, not with classified data, nothing. Okay, we know now, especially from New York, going past the statute of limitations and trying to find a statute. So if you listen to Alan Dershowitz, you get a better understanding of what's going on. The New York issue, and hit subscribe to this channel right now if you want to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, and other publications. Go to hagoodman.com, become part of a newsletter there, and also to my Patreons, thank you, my new Patreons, thank you, and my super thanks, thank you, that's below next to the like and the share buttons. They are so desperate in New York that he didn't commit a crime. So Democrats, the only thing they have, their policies are terrible. I mean, we have 6 to 7% inflation, And that's the new normal, apparently, to Democrats. Actually going up, back up. We have a never-ending war in Europe that apparently the line is, well, however long it takes. Well, it's not thank God, like, not, we're not the ones in this endless, well, we're not the ones, you and I in this country are not risking our lives every single day in a quagmire that's never going to end unless there's a concerted effort by other countries, mainly the U.S., to look for some kind of agreement or peace deal. Democrats, wonderful, morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats would rather, wonderful, morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrats, they're fantastic people, they're good people. They're really wonderful people. They love the environment. Then they love pumping 200 million barrels of strategic petroleum reserves into the country when apparently their policies aren't working. And they apparently don't like what they're anti-war. And actually, there is no anti-war sentiment within the Democratic Party. It's all Lincoln Project, former Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld people running the Democratic Party. You would think, though, that wonderful, morally superior liberals would be against that, against never-ending military conflict. That's what it's really interesting. I say I'm voting for Trump because he's against never-ending military conflict. I get this blank stare from people, especially people who used to be my friends who are no longer. They just what? Well, Biden does that. No, he doesn't. No, look, it's happening. Invasion in Europe's taking place. There's a bank run now, but there are bank runs going on. They've only momentarily paused this catastrophe. We're going to have an '08 financial crisis, unfortunately, and I predicted that in 21. There's a stock market crash playlist, and I wrote about that in the Federalist. So, I mean, and it's directly linked to Biden's policies. Directly linked to Biden's policies. So you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where they're just desperate to go after Trump. They're so desperate to go after Trump. They despise him. His record was much better as a president than Biden's. Much better. The media, okay, a big part of a person's persona in politics or in Hollywood or public relations is media driven. It's not necessarily the person that they're talking about, like his or her characteristics or attributes or character or charisma. A big part of an actor or an actress's success or politician's success is the media coverage. Now, the great thing about Trump and Trump Republicans, especially Donald Trump, is that he only has negative media coverage, but he will always get close to half of the electorate, no matter what. Because they understand, like, this happens all the time, unfortunately, even during tragedies. Democrats, morally superior, highly educated, liberal Democrats, fantastic people, make absurd leaps of logic. They don't like Trump, it's the end of democracy. So they start with don't like Trump, then they end with end of democracy if he regains Oval Office. Too great a leap of logic, okay? Especially from people who pride themselves on being so logical and rational. Their vantage point on Trump is completely irrational. So they will then allow government to go after him, even though they would not. Well, we wouldn't even allow an investigation. You could look at not only Hunter's issues, which there are serious crimes there, they're just ignoring, but actually they're not really ignoring that. They know that the impeachment of Biden is going to be predicated upon Hunter's crimes or crimes that Joe and Hunter committed together within the New York Post reporting. That's another thing. Any reporting or revelation into the criminality or corruption within the Democratic Party, it's just, this conspiratorial theory. They can't even wrap, many, not all, because there are people who understand on the left what's going on, but a great many people can't even wrap their minds around the fact that there is criminality on their side. It's worse than Trump. But even if you want to say, well, it's not that bad, does Trump have a laptop that he lost that shows actual crimes? Does he have servers like Clinton? And I think Hillary Clinton will be the 24 nominee. I really do. I think we're still living in 2016. I think this is like a it's like a matrix. Like, we're still stuck in 2016. But anyway. He said he was going to release a video. it should be interesting. And of course, he will protect the identities of government employees.